Well, I had to do a makeup, so I went down to Club 33. I was greeted by some folks who seemed to have a lot of energy. I settled at a table and then heard a loud bell ring. The piano played a patriotic song for all to sing. Everyone was friendly and the singing was divine. Then my phone rang, someone said $500 fine. We are everywhere, man, we are everywhere. And if we're not there, man, we are on the air, man. Asking if it's fair, man, we are everywhere. We have Don't Wait, Vaccinate, Rotarians at Work Day, Senior Service, Helping Hands, Small Club, JV helps find a way, scholarships that honor Diana, Craig, and Doug, and the most committee that will give your heart a tug. Peace and microcredit and our military affairs. A hospital in Uganda, yes, we are everywhere. We are everywhere, man, we are everywhere. And if we're not there, man, we are on the air, man. Asking if it's fair, man, we are everywhere. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, youth service that we emphasize, youth soccer, youth exchange, and of course Camp Enterprise. Youth protection, Monarch School, and STEM are flying high. Ryla and the Storefront and the Jackie Robinson Y. Rotaract and Interact and Cesar Chavez School. And a four-way speech contest that's really pretty cool. We are everywhere, man, we are everywhere. And if we're not there, man, we are on the air, man. Asking if it's fair, man, we are everywhere. Development and membership and music and the news. Rotarian finance and inspiration we can use. Project allocation, auction, and club history. Brown bag lunch and social hour and program committee. Reception badge and check-in help to make our meetings great. And a holiday program that each year we anticipate. We are everywhere, man, we are everywhere. And if we're not there, man, we are on the air, man. Asking if it's fair, man, we are everywhere. There's a few of our committees we should not forget. Marketing and PR is one I haven't mentioned yet. Our tennis and golf tournaments are always grand affairs. And those who do the outreach that we call Rotary Cares. To all who serve on these committees, there is not a doubt that you are what Club 33 is really all about. We are everywhere, man, we are everywhere. And if we're not there, man, we are on the air, man. Asking if it's fair, man, we are everywhere.
Hi, David, it's Bree. So we have our information session coming up and we'd love for you to speak just to introduce yourself. I'd love to give you like 5 minutes to talk. Does that sound good? 2 minutes? No, we'll give you 5. It'll be good. Okay, great. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to having you. Okay, go Padres.
Hey Bree, how's it going? I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah, I'd love to come. Count me in. I don't even need 5 minutes. Give me like 2 to 3 minutes. Real quick. Don't worry. Alright, sounds good, Bree. I'll see you soon. Alright, take care. Bye.
Alright, hi everyone. Now it is my pleasure to introduce David Oates, the president of the San Diego Rotary Club. He's going to take a few minutes and talk about his experience with Rotary and the impact Rotaract has made on his life. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce David Oates.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Oates, but feel free to call me Dave Oates. I'm this year's president of the San Diego Rotary Club, and thank you for having me tonight. Let me tell you what an inspirational group of students you guys are here at San Diego State Rotaract. You are really the future
of San Diego. You are the future of California. You are the future of the world. You leaders inspire me and every other Rotarian in Club 33 every day with the incredible work you guys are doing. Let me tell you, one day you will be in my position and be inside of a Rotary Club. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm in the realm of crisis PR, so you can imagine right now, we are in a crisis. So business is picking up businesses. You know, it's a crisis, so there's a lot to do for me. Within Rotary this year, I took on the challenge of human trafficking and combating the huge problem that we have here in our very own city. And let me tell you, the work that you've helped us achieve within human trafficking has surpassed my expectations. And I want to say thank you. Thank you to San Diego Rotary. Thank you for San Diego Rotary for all of your assistance, for believing in me. Coming to the end of my term, I'm sad to be leaving, but before I go, I need to tell you about my why I love Rotary so much. I need to tell you about Camp Enterprise. Years back, people had always been telling me to go to camp, but I was so busy with work. And then the year I finally decided to go to camp, my life changed forever. I met these students that told me that this camp changed their life. That now they thought about going to school, now they thought about opening their own businesses, now they saw a future. And in that moment, my heart melted, and I knew Rotary was my life. I knew I would be in this organization forever because the work we were doing was impacting lives, was impacting people. And I mean, President, this year, as my term is coming to a close, I'm sad.
But I'm very excited to continue being a member of this organization, to continue serving alongside all of you, and continue being a member of San Diego Rotary. Thank you and have a good day.
Okay, Ubaldo, remind me that next year we need to tell Max and JR that they need to slot off at least 45 minutes for David to speak. I always forget about that one.
Last year, during my year as president, David Oates was my own self-appointed mentor. He was always coming up to me to say, I got your back. It's all good. I got you covered. Well, one day when the district governor was coming to give the program, the DG got started speaking right on time. And after about 10 minutes, he was done. And then he asked for questions from the audience. Nobody raised their hand. I looked at the clock. It was 1:10. There was nothing on the agenda to do. What would David do? Well, I did what David wouldn't do. I shut up and rang the bell.
Hey, Paul, it's Bob Russell. President Bob. Yeah, that Bob. Hey, Paul, I need your help. As you know, Rotary International President Ian Risley from Australia is going to be our speaker this week. No. We don't have to pay for him to come from Australia. That's been taken care of. My problem is that I just got the agenda from Mary, and it looks like he's only being given 10 minutes to speak and answer questions. Yeah, I know that's a problem, since we all know that RI presidents like to talk even more than district governors. So tell me, what would David do?
Hey Mary, it's Michelle. Sorry to call you at home. Hey, we have got a big problem. Yeah, no, my heart's fine. We just had a cancellation of our event on the Midway tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. I know, 500 people. How are we going to get a hold of everybody? Military awards. This is a crisis. What would David do?
San Diego Rotary, thank you so very much for your support of the Haynes Solar Cooker. Hey Bruce, how are you? I hope you're enjoying the 4th of July holiday. What? You want to resign? Bruce, this is the best job in all of Rotary. What do you mean? I don't understand. When do you want to resign? How much notice are you giving me? Bruce, I just can't believe it. This is just unbelievable. Okay, if that's the way you feel. I cannot believe it. Only 2 weeks into my presidency, and Bruce wants to resign. I wonder what David would do.
For years, we held our Rotary meetings at the Sheraton Harbor Island, but then we couldn't. Where do we go? Liberty Station? What would David do?
Time in City Hall. At first, city staffers questioned why City Council member Bob Filner was suddenly wearing a Navy uniform on occasion. Consequently, the lookalikes called each other bro. Fast forward to the 2012 Club 33 mayoral debate between Bob Filner and Carl DeMaio. To preclude accusations of nepotism and in keeping with full disclosure, I related the bro story when I introduced Bob Filner. What would David do?
Hey Judy, it's Bonnie. I have some really tough news to tell you today. The speaker that was lined up for a long time for tomorrow is not going to be able to show. I am I am really, really sorry. I know how much David was looking forward to having Tatis Jr. talk to everybody about baseball, but it is just not happening. You might call it a crisis. Oh, but David is a crisis communicator. So what do you think David would do?
Woody, how you doing? Yeah, I'm up here in Bozeman, just for about a week or so. So, what you got? No, it couldn't be. I'm only a month into my term. To tell Rotary that I'm going to be raising dues in my first month as an officer of this club. I can't believe it, Woody. Okay, all right, well, I guess that's what I'll have to do, but hey, what do you think David Oates would do?
Good afternoon. I was president in 2006-2007. At that time, the board was debating our club need for a permanent home. We talked about several ideas, one of which was to look at the conference center at Liberty Station, which was then owned by Macmillan Company. Following much discussion, it was decided not to move forward with an offer. But the desire to have a permanent home for Club 33 still remained. So the question became, what would David do?
Well, it's not what would Dave do, it's what Dave did. Dave has been an electric man. He's a whirlwind of gyrations, and he's fueled by fire, electricity, dynamite, and even nuclear fusion. I had a small disagreement with him once, several years ago, and I remember he said at the end of our conversation, he said, well, Tom, that's one way to look at it. And then he said, it's like the fly said as he walked across the mirror. That's one way of looking at it. And I enjoyed that very, very much. He's a generous and caring sentimentalist. He's like the guy who cries at supermarket openings. But the best legacy he's left to all of us is his view of the future. He embraces Rotaracts, he embraces high school students, new members. He's the kind of guy who'll make Rotary grow and achieve truly great results. Thank you, Dave, for your enthusiasm. After all, that's the secret of a good life, and you've got it, Dave. Thanks very much.
During my 2003-2004 presidential year, we were in the throes of building and naming a new baseball park. Many companies wanted their logo on it. During one of the planning committees, Petco stepped to the plate, so to speak, and put in a sizable bid. But then another company tossed their hat in the ring, Victoria's Secret. Their bid was attractive, but some on the planning committee thought it was a bit too skimpy. As the group pondered the decision, someone said, "What would David do?"
There are really only two tasks that come to the president of Rotary. One is to open the meeting, and the other is to close the meeting. I had difficulty with the latter. In fact, the editor of the Rotator referred to me as overtime trotter. This was a particular problem with one of our speakers, Senator Peace, the state senator from San Diego. When he was our speaker, he went right up to the 1:30 closing time and kept right on going. Well, I used 4 tactics to get him to stop. One was to look consciously at my watch. The other is to clear my throat. And the third was to move my chair so it looked like I was going to stand up. And the fourth was to stand up and stand behind him. And I am tall enough so that I can be an imposing figure behind the speaker. That didn't work either. He went 10 minutes beyond 1:30. So, Dave, my question is, how do you bring a speaker to a conclusion?
Hi, David. Bill McDade here. As I looked over my approximately 25 years since I was club president, I found very unusual and surprising request that I hope you can help me handle. I met a young girl in Nochislan, Mexico with severe bow legs with the Mercy Most program, and we brought her to San Diego to straighten her legs, and after 2 10-hour operations, her legs indeed were straight. And she was very grateful for what we did, and I kept receiving thank you letters from her. But one of the last letters included a very unusual and surprising request. Dear Dr. Bill, you are a miracle worker. My legs are straight, I run, I stand without pain, but I need a special favor from you, and I know you can do it. I want you to find me a husband, at the very least, a boyfriend. I want him to live in San Diego, and I want him to be a Rotarian. And I will be more than happy to travel from Nochislan, Mexico to San Diego to meet him, if only Rotary will pay my way. Dave, what would you do with this request?
As president, during the 88-89 year, we had a unique problem. Our regular venue at the Sheraton East was available only on a part-time basis. So we used the Sheraton Grand, the Grant, the Omni, the Marriott, the Town & Country, the Hilton, and the Bahia a total of 23 times during the year. Emails, cell phones, and texting hadn't been invented yet. We needed to notify our members of the change in venues. What would David do?
Pat Crow, this is Gary Nelson calling. You remember back in 1987, at the end of my Rotary year, it was almost in the year, the Supreme Court of the United States said, Rotary, you're going to admit women. And I said to you, Pat, this is going to happen in your Rotary year with your experience in courts and with doing everything professionally like lawyers do. I'm sure you'll handle it beautifully. You did. I just wonder what David would do.
May I please speak with Dr. Bill McDade? This is his old fraternity brother, George Gildred, calling. Yes, Bill, I'm calling you as a Rotary president in distress and in dire need of advice. Henrietta, Rotary Club's executive secretary for 25 years, just stormed into my office, slammed the Rotary office keys down on my desk, and said, I quit. Now, I'm frantic. What should I do? You say we need crisis management, and I should ask myself, what would David do? I like it.
David, I salute you, wish you well. At 96 years old, you'll know you'll be a past president or a long time, as I still are. I salute you, wish you well. Whoopee. God dang.
In abundance of caution, I am issuing a state of emergency for the city of San Diego.
So I said, how do we move expeditiously with the opportunity to really keep as many people safe as we can?
How do we reopen safely? How do we have phases that make sense with the ability to protect our customers and, of course, protect our employees? And
how do we allow folks to get out there a little bit more?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My old 1950 Oxford Dictionary defines leader as a little length of gut between the fishing line and the hook. Guts is also a key element for a leader to succeed, but there is much more to the equation than that. Many intangibles must be added to come together as a person, so that a group will willingly and enthusiastically follow his or her call to action. Hundreds of books have been written about leadership, but it remains an elusive concept. Justice Potter Stewart, in a 1964 Supreme Court case, famously said, quote, "I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it." The same is true of leadership. You know it when you see it. David exemplifies in generous measure that unique combination of qualities, both personal and professional. During my time in the Stone Age as the president, it was a big emergency if the speaker was 2 minutes late, or if the mic was on the blink, or if I wouldn't make it back from the bar on time. During David's year, he and our club were confronted by the largest and most existential threat in our club's history. Things could have fallen apart quickly without his vigorous and prompt response. David's response was to buckle down, grab the crisis by the horns, invent a totally new way of conducting our meetings, our committee work, our speakers, our club community projects, and our good works. In short, reinventing how we went about our business and reinventing and preserving our whole existence. His quick, enthusiastic, agile, and solid performance has held us together, brought us together, all with good humor, and served as a shining example for the whole Rotary world. As a result, he and our club's performance has lit the way for the whole movement and earned our club even more respect in our community. In the huge, diverse group that we are, with 500 plus members, each of whom is busy, successful, independent, and has a healthy ego, he has transformed us into an even more tightly knit brother and sisterhood and fulfilled our Rotary pledge of service above self. By his leadership, he is guaranteed that when we come out of this dark tunnel, we will come roaring back better than ever. Many clubs in this district have shut their doors and have not taken steps to stay in touch, with a distinct possibility that when it comes time to get together again, there will be nothing left. Not us. We are family. Among many projects, David's signature project for us of challenging sex trafficking, a hard nut to crack, has been hugely successful in shining the spotlight on a pernicious scourge in our community. We will never look at the problem the same as somebody else's problem, and will always treat it as a serious threat that it is. So, as we look back on our club's last few years, we can rest comfortable in the knowledge that our leadership has been superb, never more so than this year. And we know that age has not resulted in hardening of this club's arteries, nor in dimming our vision. For we are Club 33 tough, and smart, and united, and loving. And so we turn to David and say thank you so much for his extraordinary efforts in keeping us together, keeping us pointed forward, and keeping our light burning bright. We see not just hope, but a boundless optimism for this club's future as the preeminent example of what a dedicated bunch of folks, inspired by the energy, vision, and hard work of a leader, can accomplish in service from our community to all around the world. As someone has said, we are everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2019-2020 Rotary Club President, David Oates.